These are the first two exercises that I'll be doing in day 4. This move is called a one-arm dumbbell swing. So to get in position for this, Chris is going to have his feet a little wider than his hips, his toes straight ahead, and he's going to squat down and pick up the weight with one arm. He's going to keep the palms facing his body as he does this exercise. And what he's going to do, he's going to row it up towards his body as he comes up, then he's going to press it over his head. So let's squat down, Chris. And he's going to row it up, keeping the weight in tight to his body, and then he's going to press it up over his head at the top. So the arm is optional where you want it. You can just let it hang behind the thigh just like that. And you just want to make sure you're keeping your posture, keeping your neck straight. You're coming down into the squat position each time. And you're keeping control of the weight. You don't want that weight to control you as you're doing it. Good. So to make this easier, you guys, all you have to do is slow it down or use a lighter weight. If you want to make it more of a challenge, you can use a heavier weight. And this is a one-arm dumbbell swing. This is a third exercise that I'll be doing in day 4. This exercise is called a straight-legged deadlift. And we're going to be using 2 weights for this exercise. So Chris is just going to squat down and pick up the weights. So when he starts this exercise, he's going to have his feet hip-width apart. He's going to have his palms facing his body. And what you want to make sure when you come down on this exercise, you want to keep a neutral spine. That means you don't want to have your head cocked up and you don't want to have it looking down. You want to keep your neck straight. And the leg position when he does this exercise, he's going to keep his legs straight. So he's not going to have a huge bend in his legs, and he's not going to have them hyperextended. There's just going to be a natural bend of the knee. So let's do a couple reps for them, Chris. So he's going to come down till his back is parallel to the floor each time. So as you can see, as he comes down, his palms are facing his body. Good. And he's sticking the hips out as he comes down. That's very important to stick the hips out. So he's keeping the neutral spine. He's not looking way up, and he's not looking down. So to make this exercise a little more advanced, guys, all you have to do is increase the weight. You want to make sure that you're not feeling a pull on the lower back because you're going to be working your lower back muscles on this exercise also. So if it gets too hard, you're going to lighten up the load on the dumbbells, or else you're just not going to go down as far when you do it. And this is a straight-legged deadlift. This is Chris's first exercise in day 4. And this exercise is called a squat press. So he's already in squat position. He has the bands right underneath his feet, right in the middle. And he's going to have his feet hip width apart. So he's just going to bring the bands up behind him right now into the squat position. So as you can see, his palms are facing out. His hands are at the sides of his shoulders. So he's going to squat down till his bum is at about knee height. And then as he comes up on the squat, he's going to press the bands right up over his head. Good. So let's do a couple more for them. So as he presses it up, his arms are right over top of the shoulders. He's keeping the wrists straight. So you're going to make this one move. You don't want to do the squat and then the press. You want to make this one move. As he squats it up, he's going to press it up. It's going to be a nice fluid motion. Good. So if this gets too hard, guys, and you can't press it up all the way, the shoulders are going to get tired when you do this exercise. Try pressing it up half the way. So come up, Chris, and do a half a press. Good. So if you get to the point where you can't even press it up half the way, I just want you to stick the bands down at your sides and rest it for a couple seconds. And this is a squat press with the bands. This is the second and third exercise Chris will be doing in the day 4 exercises. This move is called a one-legged back bridge with a band. So as you can see, Chris is in position right here. He's going to have his right heel on the ground so his toe is up. And he's going to stick the band right in the middle of his shoe. Very important, you get the band right in the middle. His leg is going to be extended out. The legs aren't going to be touching each other. And he's going to have a grip on the bands. You're going to make sure you have a strong grip on the bands when you do it, and his elbows are pressing against the ground when he does this. So let's show him what a one-legged back bridge looks like, Chris. So as he comes up, he's going to push off of this heel, and he's going to push this leg outwards. So he's using the band as a resistance on the foot here. So if he wanted to make the resistance harder on here, he would just grab the band up a little higher and create more resistance on the band. It would be a little higher. So what you want to concentrate, guys, on is as you push off the heel, you want to bring the hips off the ground high as you can. Just like that. So if you wanted to make this move a little bit easier, if it was too hard on your heel, all you would do is go flat-footed. And that would make it a little bit easier. And from there, if the resistance is still too hard, you can stick the band down and do the exercise without the band. And this is a one-legged back bridge. This is the first exercise Joanne will be doing on day 4. This move is called a stratosphere. So to get in position for this, Chris is going to get in a push-up position right now. So he's going to make sure the palms of his hands are right under the shoulders. Hands are shoulder width apart. His legs are out straight. He's on his toes. And he's just going to twist it out side to side. So let's see what it looks like. Good. So when you do this one, as you can see, his hips are rotating, and he's twisting his knees out to the sides as much as he can. And he's walking the feet off the ground. You want to keep the knees close to the mat as you can as you're doing this. You don't want to have your bum sticking up in the air while you're doing this exercise. To make this move a little bit more advanced, he would start to jog it. So let's turn it into a jog, Chris. And then from there, sky's the limit. You can go even quicker. Let's show him a little bit more speed. Good. So you can go as fast as you want to on this. Let's walk it out again, Chris. To make it a little easier to slow it down, if the heart rate's getting too high, you would just walk it out. And you're going to feel the arms working a lot on this exercise also. If the arms can't hold you up any longer, I just want you to go on your knees and just rest for a couple seconds. And this is a stratosphere. This is a second exercise Joanne will be doing on day 4. This exercise is called a 2-footed back bridge. So as you can see, Chris has his feet flat on the ground. He's going to keep his arms down at his sides, and he's going to keep his head on the ground. So all he's going to do, he's going to push off of his feet and get the hips up high as you can. So let's show him a couple, Chris. And he's going to bring it down. So you're just going to tap the bum on the mat each time you come down, and you want to thrust the hips up, and you want to get them up high as you can each time. So if you want to make this move a little bit more advanced, all you're going to do is you're going to go onto your heels. So you go on your heels so the toes are facing up, and that would make it more challenging that way. So you just want to make sure that you're getting as much height as possible, doing the best you can on it. And this is a 2-footed back bridge. This is a third exercise that Joanne will be doing on day 4. This exercise is called a side shuffle. So we're going to be using 2 strips on this exercise, about 1.5 feet apart. And again, you can be using a tea towel or an object that you're not going to trip over to do this exercise if you don't have strips. So Chris is just going to be starting out between the strips just like this, and he's going to come into a partial squat position right now. So he's going to have a slight bend in the knees. His back is at a 45-degree angle, and his bum and hips are sticking out. His arms are going to be bent at 90 degrees here. So let's show a slow motion version of this. You're going to step out at the same time and step in at the same time. This is your side shuffle. So as you can see, he's on the balls of his feet. He's on his toes. His heels are going to be off the ground as he's doing this exercise. So sky's the limit from here. If you want to make this harder, you would just pick up the speed. So let's go a little bit quicker, Chris. Just like this. And if you couldn't do it this fast, if it gets too hard, you'll just go back to walking it out. You just want to make sure that you're holding the squat position as you're doing it. And this is a side shuffle.